大家好，我叫咕咕猪，很高兴认识你们。
大家好，我是陈旭涵。
I'm Matthew Scott from Valve。
大家好，我是谢元伟。
I'm Jason Van。
GADIO, this is Hudson Russell from Naughty Dog.
I'm Marshall Robin from Naughty Dog。
GADIO 的听众大家好，我是索尼电脑娱乐的负责人天天无人。
Hi, I'm Yusuf from the Xbox team at Microsoft, and you're listening to GADIO。
追根溯源，挖掘游戏文化，深入浅出，探索业界秘闻，聊游戏也能长知识。欢迎收听集合网GADIO Pro。朋友，你再也不用担心被节目安利的时候找不到那个游戏了，你也再也不用担心因为主持人的英语不好而听不懂游戏名称了。集合网新版官方网站终于上线，边听边看，风光无限。3w.gcories.com， 我们不见不散。
So we now have like this interesting question. It's about culture, different cultures. According to a lot of for Asian players, including Chinese, Japanese, Korean players, most female characters, most female figures in the most Western video games can hardly be called attractive. For instances, if pardon me, I might mention the name Bioware. Yeah, it's like for us, they have really interesting, attractive personalities, but not appearances. But in your game, probably only in your game as the only Western RPG games I've heard, that we even Asian games can confidently say the most of your female figures in the games are very attractive. Yes. Henry is a fan of Siri, and I'm a fan.
Triss.
Yeah, and Triss, and I'm a fan of Yennefer. I'm a fan of Yennefer. Yes, we fought each other after we got drunk about that.
The figure of Triss is kind of like the Asian female.
Yeah, it's like it's really have a so sophisticated, lovely detail.
Yeah.
She's
my favorite.
Okay, Henry wins this round. Yeah. Okay, yeah, and so it's like, why do you think there's like kind of gap between the idea of the standard of beauty in East and West? And and also why do you think the design of the female figures, your design of the female figures are so widely accepted in Asia?
That's a really good question. I think the first answer which comes to my mind is probably because Polish women are really beautiful, and it's a universal standard. So yeah. To all the listeners, beautiful girls come to Poland. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And I think actually our creators, the whole character department, they spend enormous amount of time on the detail. Because sometimes very small things and appearances are one thing, but then if we are talking, for example, about Siri or Triss, look at the appearances, and then this is not just a still image; it's the movement. These are the gestures. That's the facial expression. This is the way she winks, that she smiles with the corner of her lips. This is. The game is very sensual.
And the more at the chin or something like that.
I love her lips.
And exactly. It's sensual, and when it makes sense for the story. It's also sexual. That's, I think, why you have positive feelings and gamers have positive feelings towards the characters. Why, if you look at many other games, the characters are just goddamn plastic.
Yep.
And you don't develop feelings towards plastic, or unless you're really desperate.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, but I think what I'm trying to say, it's look how we build emotions in the game. It's very similar to movies, to cinematic. They're waving their hands. They have certain gestures, and sometimes, on a given scene of a gesture, they were spending hours, if not days. But then you consider it true. So of course these are beautiful models, but then how they are animated. And sort of the whole animation and the whole scene talks to you, and that's what's building the relation. Look, for example, on the other hand, the ugly. Look at the witches. The witches are goddamn scary because they are the witches. They are evil. They are twisted, and they look atrocious. And that's, again, you cannot say you don't have a universal image of a witcher, and if there is one, that's probably definitely not what we have in our game, but you consider them witches. So I think it's more of the way we narrate and we tell the story. And I think we also spend a lot of time on the models to make it them more real. Actually, Adam Badowski, who's the head of the studio, and he's the heart and the brain behind all that. Adam, on The Witcher 1 and Witcher 2, used to be our art director. So the story is in a big way told through art. And I think that's very important for us. So we both think that we should show you and also tell you, but really a lot we should show you. I have a very good example from another media, and I will come back for a moment to Game of Thrones, which I'm totally crazy about, the series, the TV series, because I read all the books, I love them. But then sometimes you see how the medium of TV can do things maybe not better, but easier, and make them more important for you, relate to you more. Like I remember I was reading a scene on a couple of pages when Tyrion Lannister is walking around the table and talking to the little council. Little council. And so let's say George R. R. Martin wrote, I don't know, 2 pages, 3, how the room is set up, what is there, how is the light, who is coming, who's leaving, where they're sitting. And you see one perfectly lit scene. Tyrion comes, he winks, he smiles with a little bit of viciousness. It's 5 seconds, and you totally know what he wants, what he thinks. And this is very universal. All around the world will understand it. And that's very what we are trying to achieve in our games. These little things, this is the spice, this is the icing on the cake.
Details.
That's what tells you that it's true, that these characters in the game, although they are just in the game, they are real for you. They have emotion. They mean what they're saying or what they're doing. And if you have the same character that's not moving and it's standing like a plastic doll, then you're like, no, not this doll, stop it. Then you feel like, hey, I don't believe it. It's not true. So I think that's a very interesting direction where I would like games to go.
Cool. So about these characters, including Ciri, Yennefer, and Triss, have you got any models like you mentioned? Have you ever referred to any models to build up the visual features?
I mean, of course, and I think we could probably write a couple of books about it. But that's from Witcher 1. I think we always believed that art it's an incredibly important part of the storytelling, and that's how we're using it. So yes, we are using real life models.
They're from Poland.
These guys are experts in anatomy, and it's a very mundane process because Obviously, for the key characters, we put most of the focus and attention, but then also it is important that the crowd is diverse and they have all their gestures here. So what you see this is actually very Slavic, mostly Slavic people. There are scans of some people from the team, but generally we are looking quite often for very strange characters.
Okay. No wonder you say that. The most of figures are attractive because Polish girls are attractive and beautiful. That's why.
Yeah, it just made things a bit easier.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. And also, we are now this time we noticed that the horses have appeared in a lot of different video games. And before Witcher 3, the most impressive games which make really detailed and credible movement of horses is the Red Dead Redemption by Rockstar, and they have, according to the reports I've read, they have spent quite a lot of strength in researching how the horses moves, how they move, how their muscles intense and such things. And so you have built Roach, and I quite like the movement of Roach. So have you also done a lot of research like that in horses?
Yeah. I mean, we are doing a lot of research, and we actually were looking after a mocap, and when ultimately we decided to buy the mocap, the animation, and it looked perfect. But then then the animation is one thing.
Yep.
Then the physics, how you animate the horse, how it moves in different environments.
Yep.
And actually, this was a very challenging part of the whole gaming experience, because a few months before the release, the Roach was still kind of not so nice to handle.
Yep.
I can honestly say I think that Red Dead was a role model for us by far. And we're looking at what they did, and then trying to make it even better in The Witcher. But it is a tough one, because okay, it comes in, it runs into a tree, it stops, then it's not going smoothly. How you control it and fight. This is really, really tough gaming mechanics, and in an open world, I mean, come on, you have endless number of possibilities where you can have a problem.
Yep.
I mean, like a gaming problem, and then again, any kind of a problem like that, it's breaking the immersion, and that's the last thing we want to do.
I see. Okay. And now we have all actually a lot of users of our website. We have released a video about the sword master you have invited, which you capture his motions in action designs, and we're really really impressed by his skills. And so it's like, I've heard that you have cooperated since the first The Witcher game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so about that. So are there any interesting stories happen between your studio and this master, and you can share with us?
I mean, they are professional stuntmen, so they are the tough guys, and even when they show up at our office and walk around, you can see that they are the tough ones. They're quite well built up. They do very hard physical work, and sometimes in a very tough environment.
Yep.
And for The Witcher, from The Witcher 1 until Witcher 3, they were pretty much expanding the style. So they were actually joining normal sword fighting with certain martial arts, and at the same time creating a specific, and I think kind of unique style of The Witcher according to the books.
Yep.
And then adding their own things to that. So I think we've really achieved a lot thanks to their support. And whenever we actually are organizing events, they're always part of it, and they perform the stunts live, and you can see how it looks. These guys are really real, when they have normal swords.
Yep.
This is super tiring, because in The Witcher, you kill a monster after a monster after a monster.
Yep.
They do 3 scenes, and they're just sweating. The water, the sweat is it's streaming, so to speak. So it's a very very laborious work. Yep. And also what we take consideration always is that the fight is real. So the fight takes into consideration the weight of the swords. Yeah. Nothing is really artificial in the game. We are trying to make it reasonably realistic, where we believe it adds to the story, because it can't be too realistic as well, because Geralt would be tired after killing 3 monsters or something. Yeah. But here, within a certain sphere, we are trying to give the realism because it adds authenticity.
Okay. So can I understand, so the actions or the sword fightings in Witcher 3 are like, a combination of different schools of, these, sword fightings in Europe?
Yes, very much, yes.
Okay. So, and also according to our knowledge, it's like we have a lot of games all around the world have found millions of Easter eggs in Witcher 3, and so far, according to most of the the news you have read, are there still any like Easter eggs that haven't been found by gamers?
Okay, Easter eggs wouldn't be Easter eggs if we would be talking about them.
Sorry?
They must be found. I'm saying that Easter eggs wouldn't be Easter eggs if we would tell you, hey, and one is here, in Skellige on this little island. No, guys. I mean, look for them yourself. That's part of the fun.
Well, but it's just a question of yes or no. Are there still some Easter eggs that haven't been found yet? No, you wouldn't.
I can ask the developers, but they won't tell me.
Okay, that's Easter eggs. I see. Okay, now we have finished all the questions about The Witcher, but we all know that your next work will be Cyberpunk 2077, and so we have also 1 or 2 questions about that. Okay.
There is not much I can talk about right now with regards to Cyberpunk. Yeah, really. I think it's way too early. There's one more thing to add. Yeah. There is still free DLC coming for The Witcher 3. Don't forget about it. And we still have 2 big expansions.
Yes.
Which, as we said, they will be almost the size of Witcher 2. So still core part of the team of the Witcher team is working on them, and one is coming in October, The Hearts of Stone, and the second one is coming in the first quarter of next year. So there's still a lot of Witcher experience, but huge part of the team moved on Cyberpunk, and that's what they are on. But it's way too early to tell anything besides the general stuff we talked about before. And we really don't want to take the attention of gamers away from Witcher when there is still quite some time for Cyberpunk to come. So when we'll be ready, we'll just unveil. We'll just make a big push and we'll say, hey, this is what it is. This is how it looks like, and expect it on this and that date. I think that's the only fair way to go, really.
Cool. Okay, so but you have mentioned Witcher 3, and so we have heard Ciri got this power, which she can tears the veil of the world, and she can travel between different worlds, and some players have mentioned that actually he doubts that one of the very sci-fi world Ciri has mentioned to Geralt is the world of Cyberpunk 2077, and so this.
That's a good one. I like it.
Okay, so this guy's question is, will we see Ciri in Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah.
And will there be more crossovers between these two game series?
We know that gamers have wild imagination, but this has exceeded mine. So no. Honestly speaking, no.
Okay.
I don't think so. What were I talking like? More of a like CD Projekt Red All Stars or what?
Okay. Well, that's a pity, but
I think it's really good idea.
CD Projekt Red cards.
Yeah.
Witcher, Siri, and the Cyberpunk characters, they will be riding carts and. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we also have some more questions about the studios itself, the CD Projekt. So have you got any plans to have some overseas sectors like and also
no,
you don't.
We don't.
You don't. Okay. So
we don't, and the answer is not that we wouldn't like to. We would love to, and big part of my work it's growing our international business, and I'm traveling a lot, and that's very much big part of my life. But I'm a strong advocate of really like a controlled and extremely well communicated development process, and then if we would ever have something like this would have to be separate studio working on a totally different project, because otherwise it wouldn't be The Witcher or the Cyberpunk. Yes, it would have to be something else. I think we can make games of such scales with such ambition just because we have non-stop full control on the project, and we can make creative decisions very, very fast and see what they turn into. Like a very sort of world distributed studio structure has its pros because it can do more theoretically, but the quality, it's always an issue, and it's always a tough one.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so you've got your own video game platform, GOG, right? And so lots of people compare GOG with Steam. And for Chinese video game players, Steam is important and crucial because it's open to the Chinese game market, and it's really its localization is really great. And so will GOG consider to be open to the Chinese market just like Steam in the future?
We definitely would love to. So we are still developing, we are still growing. Right now we have actually last year and this year we've added several language versions, and honestly speaking, Chinese is very high on our list. So we've added French, German, and Russian on top of English, and then I think when we'll be moving forward with subsequent languages, we definitely will consider Chinese.
Okay, cool, thank you. And so we also have a lot of talented Chinese, programmers and game developers. They are really interested to participate in CD Projekt. And so they are very curious about what kind of standards have you got for these developers these programmers who want to join you?
I think I can tell you how our studio has changed. In The Witcher 1, we had maybe one team member out of 90 or 80 who wasn't Polish. Right now, the whole group is 450 people. It's all based in Warsaw with a small office in Krakow as well. And I would say probably 30% of the staff is foreign. Maybe going closer to 40, 35 probably right now. The language within the company is English. Everything is done in English, and actually whenever I'm at work, I mostly use English. All the courses is in English. So if that's interested, there's our careers page, it's at the Projekt site, and definitely looking for talent from all around the world, regardless where you're from. As long as you're fine with English, then we would love to talk to you. And if on top of it, you must be in love with games, and preferably RPG games, because that's always an important part of the discussion. We're looking for the best people in the world. We can guarantee it's a great environment, and making the best games in the world, best RPGs.
Okay, cool. And also, I'm really curious about that. So far, have you already employed any Chinese programmers?
It's a good question, but as far as I know, this is to my best knowledge. I might be wrong because there are recruitment processes going on all the time. But as far as I know, no, we don't have anyone yet.
Okay, cool. Okay, so also as
not cool.
No, sorry, not cool. I mean, I see.
We would love to have some guys. So have no fear.
Yeah.
Just give it a go. And by the way, we help with relocation if that's an issue for anyone. We've relocated people from all around the world, but in the game development, from what I see in the Western sphere, it's mostly Western people moving around Europe or US. This is sort of mixing all the time, and then maybe some Eastern European, but we don't even have that many people from other Eastern European countries. It's mostly Western Europe and US.
Okay, I see. And it seems that you really have a high tolerance towards the privacy version of your own Witcher franchise, and so. And also, we understand Poland once was like a member of the socialist family, and so you have also mentioned that before. Several decades ago, people really, that's the Polish market is a bit like a Chinese market during the 1990s, like a lot of privacy. Video games and movies. So now how's Polish market? How's Polish?
But in terms of piracy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I think everywhere else in the world. The piracy moved to internet. Yeah.
Yep.
We used to have all these flea markets and people selling CDs. Right now, we just go to a torrent site or anywhere and you download it. But what I think we as CD Projekt managed to help with in terms of the change, of making the change, was to convince people, convince gamers in Poland and then in Central Europe, Central Eastern Europe, that buying a game makes sense. And this is the same attitude we have with The Witcher or GOG. For GOG, it's the core part of the business model. Yes.
Yep.
We believe in DRM3 because, however you wouldn't protect any game, it will be cracked. Yeah. And the cracking in 99% of cases happens on the day of release or before. So the protection doesn't work. That's the reality.
Okay.
If protection doesn't work, it means that people can pirate your game at any time. So the only way you can convince them is not with saying, no, you bad thief, you pirated the game, but saying them, hey, if you would buy the legal game, you'll get a lot of goodies, you'll have support, you'll have patches, you'll get free DLC, you'll be part of the great community, and you'll be talking about your friends, how much you love the game and how much you want Gwent, and besides, we make great too, yeah? So this is, I'm always saying, these are our values, but this is also a very conscious business model. We are not a charity. I cannot say, hey guys, go and pirate our game and we'll leave. No. If I would say things like that, and people will pirate our games in mass, we'll go out of business and you will not see another game from us. Yes. We have to sell games to make money to be able to pay wages. This is as simple as it is. And having said that, building the big carrot, so the big, value added, the value perceived by the gamer, I think we are really convincing them to buy. We actually see lower piracy on Witcher 3 than we saw on Witcher 2. The game is selling extremely well, and my heart is full of joy when I go to torrent sites and I see the torrents of our game, and people say, hey, does it work? Doesn't it work? And people, is there a crack? People say, no, it's a GOG version. There is no crack. These guys do not protect games. And then I see some guys on torrent saying, you stupid wonkers. How come you pirate the game? This is a cool company. They don't protect. They're pro gamers. Don't pirate it. Buy it. And I'm then like, okay, what we're doing makes sense. You know, we have an army of people, of gamers who like what we're doing, and they defend us. And that's that's why we are doing what we're doing. Yeah. Because I think the best thing that can happen to us is that having among your friends, I don't know, within your school or a class or a certain, group of people, that having a pirated game from CD Projekt is a shame. Oh, that's the loser who's pirating CD Projekt games. Ha ha ha. If we achieve it one day, I'll be one happy guy. You know. Yeah. Because I would like us to be the company that delivers such a value that is just stupid to get it for free. Of course, this will never happen, 100%. But what I see is great. People buy our game because they want to, not because they cannot find a pirated copy or. These are always the force mechanics, like forcing people into something. I never believed in that, and I was always against it. So that's what we're doing, saying, hey, we're honest with you. This is the value we're giving you. I think it's good. We as gamers think it's good because we always analyze our decisions, putting on our gamers glasses, and we think, wow, it's fair value. It's good. It's great value for money. People should buy it, and they do.
Okay. Yeah, and as players ourselves, we really like that card that you have, made inside the box, in the game box about, thank you for purchasing Witcher 3, and we really wish you enjoy the game experiences, and we are really moved, and we really think that's a really good idea. And really thank you all your team for doing that. And we're really moved as games. Yeah. And that's, the card, it's something what we wanted to do for quite some time. Yeah. And this is really how I feel. This is not PR, this is not marketing. Yeah, it's a sincerity.
I think that we owe gamers for buying our game. It's expensive to buy a game. Sometimes it's it's all for some, I don't know, students or high school guys. Yep. These are their monthly savings. So sometimes maybe they can buy one game every 2 months. Yep. And if they decide to buy ours, we are just grateful and we hope they'll enjoy it. So I think it's really we are here for the long term, and we are here to build the relations and actually. At the end of the day, treat the others how you want to be treated. I would like to get a note like this when I'm buying games.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really warm for us.
Yeah, and it's really, really kind of you of thinking about that. It's really great. Yep. And so now we come to the most difficult part about yourself. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Last 3 questions.
Yes. Okay, so it seemed that both Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077, they are all derived from the novels. So a lot of players are interested. So what kind of novels would you like to read? In most of the time during your common days, when you are not making games and doing your work. And
what do I read in general?
Yeah. What kind of fictions, novels?
I'll tell you during my high school times and university times. I was reading practically only science fiction and fantasy. So very much so that with one of the bookstores in Warsaw, I had a deal that anything that comes, I buy it. And it wasn't such a free market as it is right now, because right now, despite the fact that I have family, I'm running a company, etc., I wouldn't have time. But I was pretty much reading everything. To the extent that after I finished the university, I couldn't look at science fiction because I had enough of it. I then took a break and I actually reread the normal literature from the high school, which I missed on, and from the university, because I was reading science fiction and fantasy. It's funny, but maybe I grew up to this, and I'm reading a lot of different things. I really like reportage. I love to read about the world, and a super high position on my list, and I'm actually buying way more than I can read the comic books. I'm totally into comic books, and I'm buying them in tons.
Yeah. So what kind of comics? Marvel, DC, or even some Japanese manga?
I actually, I'm not a huge fan of superheroes.
Okay.
I very much like contemporary stories. I like the mangas, but also not science fiction, but more like common life. I very
high
much.
School?
I think it's
high school love stories.
Oh no! Like more like life stories, I would say. You know, I mean, I really appreciate very similar values than I appreciate in gaming. So storytelling, good storytelling. Like for me, Enlightenment, Walking Dead by Robert Kirkman.
And Walking Dead.
It's not because of the zombies, and I read through all the 13 or whatever 10 or 13 years. One of my favorite comic books. It's called The Criminal, but Ed Brubaker. These are criminal stories, extremely well written. With beautiful pictures, beautiful graphics. So these two things, I think, very similar to what we have in our games. So I'm looking forward to good storytelling always.
Okay, good. So you have mentioned good storytelling. So have you noticed the newly rising studio Telltale Games? They have also you said you like comics, so there's like they have a game, the Wolf Among Us, right? They have developed that's really a cool game. Have you ever played that game?
Yeah, I finished it.
You finished it, and we have
finished it.
Yeah, and we have noticed that in the new The Witcher 3, we have like this these option system that you can only choose. You can choose the words you like to say with very limited time, right?
Yeah.
And so is that inspired by the Telltale Games?
I think it was. I don't think it's Telltale's invention. It was already in previous games. I'm not sure if it was BioWare, but definitely, whenever there is someone that's doing good storytelling, and there is not that many companies in the gaming world doing that, we play through their stuff, and if we see something inspiring, we try to make it better. So I mean, in this case, I'm not sure if it was it was their inspiration. I think I've seen it elsewhere, but I think BioWare was using it before.
Oh yeah.
But definitely, we are looking and watching, and I'm personally a huge fan of Telltale.
Yeah.
The Wolf Among Us, actually, funnily enough, I first played the game, and only then I reached to the comic books, which with the Fables, which actually I didn't like too much. For me, it's a bit too crazy. I like the game much more than I like the comic books.
I see.
But Walking Dead. That's a great storytelling. Yeah. I really think they deserve all the awards, the sales, and the praise. I had such a good time with this game.
Yeah, and well, it's just a personal suggestions about the choosing the option with a limited time. When I'm playing Telltale games, it's really a pain for me because most of their text are English. There's no Chinese version over there. So there's like a lot of options I have to choose, within like 10 seconds. But before, the time ended, I can't even finish reading probably like, I only finished reading 2 lines of that. And that's so I don't have enough time. And also about that, because you have introduced to this mechanisms to The Witcher 3. And I do believe probably the different languages, even the same amount of information over there, probably for example English, it takes you like probably 5 seconds to finish to read both lines, but probably in Japanese it will take you like 6 seconds or 7 seconds. So in the future, do you think probably you can consider the characters of different languages, including the length which it in average how long it will take to finish that line, then to design a different time it takes you give to the players.
We definitely can. Actually, could you send me a particular example of such a scene with Chinese? I'll give it to develop. It's a very very valuable comment.
Yeah.
I think people should feel comfortable with reading the language, and especially if you're reading traditional Chinese, I suppose it can be. It's challenging.
It's not really challenging, but it's just slightly more time consuming. It might take us more than like 2 seconds more to finish each line. 2 seconds, probably.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, but it's if you are mentioning it, it's a certain discomfort, and it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, so if it's like still most mainland Chinese players, they can comprehend traditional Chinese without any difficulties, but it just because
but it is slower. But it is a bit
slightly slower. Yeah. So if we can in the future, will be a simplified Chinese one. It will be really appreciated. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, next time I meet Telltale, because I've seen them a month ago. We've signed their games for GOG.com.
Yeah.
And I will mention them that they definitely should have a Chinese version.
Thank you so much. They also have a lot of fans in China as well. Okay. So besides the Walking Dead you have mentioned, have you got like a favorite video game on your mind?
Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do.
So what is it? Witcher.
No. Come on. That's obvious. That's above number one, so I'll not even bother mentioning it.
Yeah, okay.
No, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the original Fallout games, and
original
Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. I played them many times, and then Fallout Tactics as well, and I'm really looking forward now. I'll be making some advertising for Bethesda, but I think they really know what they're doing, and I'm looking forward to Fallout 4 myself.
Okay, great. So, any have you have any games particularly has inspired Witcher in different ways? Yeah.
I mean, look, if you look at it this way, there was 250 people, even above that, finishing The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
And when we started, there was probably 150. Each of them is a walking and talking games encyclopedia, and they play everything.
Yep.
So if you put it all together, you will have a super long list of who was inspired by what. But we religiously play all the RPGs. We look at the storytelling. So I mean, we definitely look at BioWare, the Mass Effect, the Bethesda stuff in terms of the open world, the Skyrim, in terms of the characters and the perfect realization in a smaller and more complex world is The Last of Us. So I think then we look at the twists in the storytelling in The Walking Dead, and each of us has a certain favorite game. Some people prefer to spend their time with Diablo, and some people prefer to repetitively die in Dark Souls. So all these games are the inspiration, but I think that's the beauty of game development. Then if you look at The Witcher, so these are the inspirations from the gaming world, but as a studio, we are regularly going to the movies, and the studio is inviting the whole team to the movies to see the most recent big movies, all the Mad Maxes, all the superheroes, everything. So a lot of inspiration. Sometimes I think even Adam Badowski was mentioning to me, "Oh, Marcin, look at this scene. Yeah, that's that's kind of similar, to this scene in the Iron Man. I'm like, hey man, what the heck? I don't remember it. But, if you are an artist, you're an art director or like an art designer, you consume culture in a different way. You look at different things than probably I will or a quest designer will. And then you have all this giving you the effect of the atmosphere in The Witcher 3.
Yeah, and I have noticed the opening cinematics of Witcher 3 that Geralt is tracing Yennefer. Her traces, her footsteps, the horses, and he's trying to building up, what happened in this place, on the battlefield, and that scene, that for me, it looks like so similar to the Lord of Ring, the Two Towers. There's like the Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli. They're tracing these two hobbits. And
I remember this one. Could be an inspiration.
Sorry?
Could be an inspiration. I'm saying because honestly speaking, I think that don't forget that there is this conscious part of inspiration and there is the subconscious. Yes. So I mean, you watch all these things and then it has a certain influence and you don't even realize it that you get certain bits and pieces, like maybe the ambience or maybe the color palette or whatnot.
Yeah, of course. Okay, and this will be our last question, I'm afraid. And we're very close to the victory. And now you have mentioned that when you just have like very initiative contact with BioWare, and you were invited by them to have to set your own to show your game just by their side. And they are showing the game is the Jade Empire, and so it's it's really a kind of masterwork for us because it's really it has introduced a lot of Chinese Oriental culture in their games. So, do you personally know anything about the Chinese video games? Have you ever played any Chinese video games?
I've seen some, but as you surely know, there isn't, frankly speaking, almost any examples of this available and being played in the Western world. So I think your huge games there are huge games in China and Chinese-speaking territories, and they rarely get out. And whenever you talk about a Chinese company doing something for the Western sphere, I mean, if you look, I don't know, the Perfect World and the Neverwinter Nights, that's not really I mean, is it a Chinese game? No, I think it's more of a Western game. So
kind of. Yes.
I don't have many examples, and during my time at the awards ceremony at Xiamen, this beautiful conference center, people getting awards, and I was browsing through the catalog, and I didn't recognize one title. Just I mean, so this shows that there is a huge possibility, because if Chinese gamers are playing our games, we should be playing yours.
Yep. So there's a lot of potential, it seems, and so
definitely.
And so are you interested in any part of the Chinese culture yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I learn Chinese.
You learn Chinese language?
Yeah.
Okay, for how long?
我一点点会说中文。
说得不错，
说得很好，
是的，
说得很好，
是很难说中文。我住在台湾我住在台北半年，每天我学中文4个5个小时，可是 以后我还有问题说中文。
We are so surprised. We are very surprised because
that's why you didn't realize when you said carrot and lobo and I said it's red.
Yeah.
I remember that carrot is Hongru.
Okay, it's really good pronounced.
yeah, that's really nice pronunciation. It's really good. I think you should keep going, and in the future we can interview you in Chinese, in Mandarin.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! You know, at the shaman, there was like a part when the ceremony afterwards, we had journalists asking questions, and the problem is, you know, I was getting like 60%, but the other 40% I wasn't, and it's really frustrating. So I had a translator, and I mean, my personal hobby and passion is learning foreign languages, and I would definitely like to come back, but Chinese is the most challenging so far, and I would have to spend another 6 months to a year to really speak well, and I don't have that time. And you know, my wife doesn't want to let me. So,
Okay.
but you know, whenever I'll have time, I'll come for like 2-3 weeks to study the language. I really like it.
Yeah, and we also hope that in the future, if you are available and it will be convenient for you, and you have any opportunities to, you know, for any conferences in Beijing, and we will, you know, we'll really welcome you to visit our
definitely. I mean,
headquarters in GAMECORES. Yes.
GAMECORES. Okay, I mean, guys, I mean, let me know when there's something happening. I'll be more than happy to come. I mean, right now for the next probably year or so, I'll have a bit more time because actually before the launch of Witcher 3, we're just refusing all the invitations like as a general company. But right now I think it's the time to talk. So if there would be anything, it would be personally a pleasure to come. And also if you will be at any time in Europe or I don't know, in the US at ED3 or any other show, let us know. I'll definitely love to meet you in person and talk.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
I personally, I'm a PhD candidate in Britain right now, and so and
hence your accent, sir.
Well, yeah, you can tell that from that accent, yes. And because I'm a great fan of Lord of the Rings in the first place, and also the Game of Thrones and Harry Potter and all that kind of thing.
And Witcher.
And Witcher, yes. And I'm also personally like a member of the team of, you know, the Chinese version of Witcher novel. And I'm helping, you know, them to build up the encyclopedia of Witcher in the end of the novels.
Excellent.
Yeah, so
if at any time you would like to come to the studio, it's 2-hour flight from London. So if you'd like to, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, it'll be great, and yes, we liked a bit. And you have mentioned that, you know, you started the CD project in a little single small room in the warehouse. You know, it's like that. You know, that kind of experience, you know, sounds familiar to us because our website, GAMECORES, are you know, starting like that. Yeah. And now we are slightly better. Now we have 2 offices in Beijing right now, and we have employed probably how many?
10 people.
10 people, around like 10 people. Now it's just it's just dream, right? It's just like you. It's also our dream to kind of bring.
As they say, I'll repeat it in English. Rome wasn't built in a day, or what is the Chinese saying? Man lai.
Yes, you still remember that? That's cool. So
it's great.
Yes, it's been really a great experience talking with you. And Henry, have you got any personal questions for Marcin, you think?
Oh my God!
Can we both of us ask each of us ask one?
Yeah, of course, guys. Go ahead. Fire away.
I just got this very new question come to my mind, is like, because Witcher, you know, the highest difficult level is really difficult, and it's in Chinese. It's translated as 死而无憾. It means it's even if I die, there will be no shame of it. And so it's really difficult. I have tried, and actually I really in the white orchard part, I have been killed for thousands of times. For thousands of times. I know you enjoy that. I know as a game developer you enjoy that part the most. But okay, and also because Witcher was released around probably June, right? No,
it was May 19th.
Yeah, May 19th. Yes, and before The Witcher, the most popular game, the most popular topic for video gamers was the Bloodborne, and it's also known for its super difficulty, and so. And you as a game player, and also as some guys inside this game industry, what do you think about this Bloodborne game?
I think okay. So I'll give you two answers to these questions because let me first start as a gamer.
Yeah.
I'm not playing it because it's too difficult for me. And so that's a very honest answer. And I have 3 kids and a dog.
Yeah.
So almost like 4 kids. And okay. I have fairly limited time for gaming, and I have to choose wisely.
Yeah.
And if you're asking me how I'm playing The Witcher, I'm playing Witcher on the easiest difficulty, and on purpose, the easiest difficulty, we called it story. And actually, I've been discussing this part a lot.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to be easy. It's story. Because then we had a lot of people saying, I finished The Witcher in the story mode, yes? This sounds cool.
Yeah.
But I finished The Witcher on easy, this doesn't sound so cool, eh? So,
well, it's all right.
It is very important. And you mentioned the highest difficulty level. And actually, when you were talking, I was about to interrupt what you were saying, because if you check the forums, there is a lot of people complaining that the deathmatch is easy. So...
I'm a terrible player, probably.
No. I think you are just not uber hardcore. That's another way of saying it. So I think I would really like Witcher to appeal to a wide audience. I would like it to appeal to the uber hardcore Bloodborne guy who says, "Wow, finally I'm challenged on the deathmatch." Yes. I would like it to appeal to a guy with 4 kids like me, who has maybe 2 hours a day, or maybe 1.5, and a few more hours on the weekends, and a guy who's just a hit buyer. That's very important in terms, of getting our game in front as many gamers as possible, because I'm sure that they will love the story.
Yeah.
But if they will have this thought in their head, like I do, I will not buy this game because I have no time to fight with it for such a long time just to have fun. That's, for example, why I'm playing all the Telltale games. That's a perfect format for me, yes? I have 2 hours in the evening, bang, I finish an episode, I'm happy. I have a certain level of satisfaction. This is, where Telltale is really good for me. Maybe it's not that good for the hardcore player then. And if you look at the Dark Souls or the Bloodborne, I think they make extremely good games. These games are really phenomenal. Half of our studio, if not all, is playing them.
Yep.
And they have very, very consciously decided that they address the game only at a certain gamer, more core gamer, if not hardcore gamer, and they're doing it really well. So it's perfect. They know what they're doing, and they're trying to become masters in it. And I think that's very admirable. That's the same we are trying to do with the storytelling. Yes.
Yeah.
You cannot be jack of all trades and masters of none, because nobody wants to play this kind of games.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So Harry, have you got
So the last question.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
really.
then I'm back. And then I'm back on my holidays. Okay.
Okay. Actually, there's not question.
I think I've finished most of the questions.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I've run out of questions for now. But
so the Witcher is really popular for now in China.
It's really popular. Everyone's talking about that. Everyone, even who don't really care about video games, know that. But Gwent at least.
But I think the feedback from Chinese players is not convenient
Yeah, to probably to be noticed by you or by the Western media. So we are just here to.
You're looking forward for keep contact.
Yes. We are really looking forward to keep contact with you to just tell you how do they like the next coming DLCs.
Yeah, and maybe we can collect some comments from Chinese player. To you?
Yeah, to
maybe
you.
By email?
Yeah, probably we can send it, through emails to you.
I just sent, no problem, guys. I mean, I'm available. If it won't be me, then, I can always get somebody from the team to help. We definitely are very interested with China as a market with a lot of really fanatic gamers. Of course, there's the language barrier, and I deeply regret we didn't have the time to do the simplified version. I've been in China 3 times just to talk about it. So it is really important, and actually we are amazed with the feedback because coming from Poland. Yeah. Okay. The Western markets, yes. The first with The Witcher 1, we wanted to break out into Europe. With The Witcher 2, we wanted to get some, and Witcher 3 recognition in the US. But culturally, this is not that far off, yes? But if you look at China or Japan, then, who are we to tell if the game has the things to make it successful in China? Yeah. And I'm so happy you're telling me that right now, that people like it. So it really shows that what we're doing, it's extremely international, and that's amazing. And right now, our goal is to bring it even closer to the gamers. Like, I would love to have the VOs in the next game in Chinese. Yeah. So definitely, guys, let's stay in touch. And if there is any cool event happening, let me know in advance. I definitely would seriously consider coming. Okay. And please send me an example from the game where you would need more time for the decision. Just a particular, maybe a save game if you're playing on the PC or something like that, or just a screen grab. Yeah. With a brief comment, and I will forward it to the team. This is the first time we hear about it, but maybe they know about it already. I don't know. Also, because of the language barrier, the Chinese feedback, it's fairly limited. I mean, we are not getting that much. People are not so brave to write to us because I think they probably automatically consider that we'll not understand Chinese, while I'm sure we would have a translated, and they are probably a little bit shy to write in English. So. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Marcin. And
thanks a lot. And I sent you the article about how the Gwent was started. If you would like anything here, I can get you an interview with the creators if this would be interesting.
Yeah, we'll really like that. And thank you so much, Marcin. And I will definitely, I'll definitely take a vacation. Yeah, I'll definitely take a vacation to Warsaw to meet you in the future, probably in the next few months, hopefully.
Yeah, let us know if you would like to make an interview on site or a feature, or just have some fun. I'll be happy to show you around Warsaw. No problem, guys. Just let me know earlier because I'm traveling a lot, but it's always a pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Zaijian.
再见。
再见。Yay, 再见。